Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crow's Shiny Things, where we discuss flesh and blood for the casual player and hopefully for PvE in the future. I was going to do another episode today about the PvE series I'm working on, probably with Netrunner, but then the Calling Indianapolis happened this weekend, and we got in a whole slew of new spoilers, including a Quiver and 3 poison or disease tokens that I'm very excited about and we need to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, there are Ranger goodies to be talked about, so let's discuss them. Alright, I want to start with the Quiver of Rustling Leaves here. This was revealed apparently in Mark Poole's sell pile at Indianapolis Calling. And I want to say straight off, I'm super excited that LSS is working with Mark Poole and that we're getting some of his art. He's iconic in the industry. It's beautiful to see it. And this is a really fantastic piece of art. So I'm excited about that. I am a little disappointed that this is how this piece is revealed to us. It feels very much like someone found it in a yard sale flip through down the street. And so that's a little bit feels bad, but that's a temporary glitch, and hopefully they will have more focused release and preview windows for this sort of thing in the future. Lord knows their preview season is always fantastic. So that is a trifling critique, but one that I had nonetheless. This card in its idea, holy cow, I love this. I love the idea of a quiver. It gets me so excited to play Ranger. I want to get it down on the table with Azalea and have the ability to have something else next to that bow that does just a little bit extra. So the idea of a quiver that does not take up an extra equipment slot, doesn't cost us anything to put down on the table as an option, that is music to my ears. I kind of wish they had done something like, I don't know, some sort of bladed bow thing so that I could get a 1-point stab at somebody. But a reload, sure, I'll take it. Well, it's not quite as good as a reload because it doesn't let me put in a non-arrow, right? But if it's an arrow, great. That said, holy cow, who is this for? Because it's really not for Azalea. At least not the way she's played right now, right? Most people don't play Azalea with a plethora of blue cards in their deck. So having something cost 3 is pretty prohibitive with Azalea. I am hoping that this will be aimed more at Riptide and that maybe he's a ranger who wants to use more blues or yellows in his deck than Azalea does. I suppose it could be used with Lexi, but I don't remember her having a whole host of blues either. I'd have to go look it up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hopeful that it's going to go with Riptide better than it goes with Azalea, as I think she is currently played. So, anyway, a little bit of a mixed blessing on this. Worst case, this costs me nothing to put down because it doesn't take up another inventory slot, another equipment slot. So the idea of a quiver doing that, fantastic. I can't wait to see what the legendary sort of quiver, whenever we get it, will be. Hopefully it'll be in this set, but you never know. All right. That brings me to the next thing that was revealed, which is Death Touch. I don't think this came out in Indianapolis Calling, but it came out recently, and I wanted to touch on it briefly. Because this is a 1 for 6 non-arrow arrow for both Ranger and Assassin. Right, I say non-arrow because you can't play it from your hand, so it's got to go filtered through your arsenal as every other Ranger attack does. That kind of crimps Assassin's style a little bit. I think most Rangers will just deal with it and just accept the fact that our attacks are worse and have to jump through hoops to make them do something. But I am excited that it lets you then create one of the 3 tokens that we've gotten for this set, the Frailty, Inertia, and Bloodrot Pox. We'll see if those are the only new tokens for this. Well, we know they're not. There's also, Ponder. But those are the 3 disease tokens, it looks like. And I'm excited that this gives you an option of choosing one of the 3 of them, because as we're going to see in a second, they are not all created equal. So if we look at Inertia, which is this one on the left, Inertia, at the start of your end phase, put all cards in hand and arsenal on bottom of the deck. It's basically Seek and Destroy light, right? Seek and Destroy makes you destroy them all. This lets you recycle them as if you had pitched them. So it's not quite as destructive as Seek and Destroy, but it is still wiping the board slate of arsenal in hand, which I like. It means that stacking this largely irrelevant because you can only really do that once. I guess if there's a way to get rid of them, then it would become interesting to stack it, but otherwise put one down and that's it. So it's nice that the other one has a choice, right? Death Touch has a choice. Because if you've already got an Inertia out, then you don't want another one. Sedate and Spike with Inertia, they look fine. 0 for 3 and 1 for +3. Pretty specific. It kind of depends on how prevalent and how useful stealth is. And honestly, until we get most of the set, I'm not going to take a stab at how exciting that really is, because I don't know. It's kind of like aim counters. Everybody asked me what I felt about aim counters at the beginning of the last set, and I thought, depends. If they don't do anything on their own, if it's just a token, I'm not that excited about it. And as it turns out, I wasn't that excited about it. Kind of neat in theory, but not exactly amazing. All right, Sedate, Spike with Inertia, looking okay, but like I said, we'll see how much stealth we have. Inertia itself, pretty good, not bad. Forces a style of play from your opponent, and that's always good. So Frailty says that it gives attack action cards from arsenal and weapon attacks -1. And while this may be really interesting to give out, I hate that this has attack action cards from arsenal. Because Ranger doesn't need the hate. And so this feels like it is targeting somebody who is already down on their knees. We'll see how the rest of this set goes for Ranger. Maybe after this, they're really going to need this sort of a gatekeep mechanic. But right now, this feels like overkill. I mean, can you imagine if you have like a couple of these stacked up onto you? Ouch, that's painful. Painful. Anyway, that's Frailty. Not excited about that. I would have been much more excited if it just weapon attacks are -1. Here's the third one of these, Bloodrot Pox. Beginning in your end phase, destroy the Bloodrot Pox. It deals 2 damage unless you pay 3. This feels like the real winner in this set. Like, I mean, for tokens, for this set of tokens, right? The disease tokens. That could be painful, and if you can stack that up for a couple of these tokens, that's gonna hurt at the end of a turn. Now, you still have some control over how you spend that, of course, because all of these things are at the beginning of your turn or beginning of your end phase. So you could hold on to cards to pay for this before the inertia hits in. That'll mitigate some of this, but I think this one may be the one that I fear the most when I'm at a table. And of course, looks like Infect and Spike with Bloodrot are doing basically the same thing that Sedate and Spike with Inertia were doing. So again, they seem fine to me, but notably, nobody's coming to me for my takes on whether a card is good or not. I'm just saying whether I'm excited about it or looking forward to playing it. Bloodrot Pox, I'm looking forward to putting that out in front of somebody. That artwork, though, holy cow, we're going back towards Monarch style artwork for some of this. That's interesting and maybe a little over the top. I don't know. We'll see. Lastly, we had some Katsu fun. Bonds of Ancestry. This is hitting in some really fun points. I don't know about the 2 cost, right? I don't actually play that much Katsu, so I don't know how excited I should be for this. But the fact that it's building off the Gustwave combo line seems really pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see what else they're going to do with Katsu. Maybe they'll give him a couple of new options on that line, and we can see if they can really make it into something interesting. Because I think that would be fun, right? I like Ninja. I like the Ninja play style. I usually play more Phi than Katsu, but yeah, I got nothing but good things to say about that, and I'm excited to see what else comes along with it, right? What else is going to be the package that comes for Ninja? Yeah, that's the new stuff we got out of Calling Indianapolis. Anyway, I just wanted to go over the new cards, talk about them in the terms of like what I think they might be adding to the game for a little bit, in that we are looking at a new package of options for both Ranger and Ninja, and of course Assassin's just going to get fleshed out more to be more interesting, to have a slightly broader playstyle, which will be great, right? You can see the beginnings of a really fun play set with Assassin with just what we got with Dynasty. But now to have that expanded on and to give us a little bit more seems like a great play set. I'm so excited to get this whole thing down on a table and play limited with it, to play some draft, to play sealed. Sealed and draft are so much fun to me, and I'm really like, I'm giddy about the idea of a 6-hero sealed experience. Give me all those packs. Let me open them up. Let me put out the cards on the table and just play with it and see what can I make. God, that sounds so amazing to me. I'm hopeful. I really am. And these cards continue to make me hopeful, despite the fact that I have my misgivings about the Quiver. Anyway, that was Calling Indianapolis this weekend. A lot of things that we saw. The actual spoiler season still is like a couple of weeks off, I think. So we have some time yet before we start getting the onslaught of spoilers that comes before every set. But I'm giddy to get there. All right, have a good day.